Good morning, boys and girls, or afternoon if this is when you're watching it. I'm going to go through quickly our Monday's lesson for ELA, and we really hope that you are cozy this morning in your PJs or this afternoon if you're still in your PJs, which more power to you. I love it. So, this is our spread of the week. This is our schedule. As you can see on Wednesday, something exciting is happening. We are going to be reading our first novel study. It is actually my favorite book of all time, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So we get to look forward to that on Wednesday. As you can see, we are going to still edit and review and revise our essays today. And then on Tuesday, tomorrow, you are going to finally look over it and lastly publish it. So all final drafts are going to be due on Tuesday. So that is our week at a glance. So here is our standard for today. We are going to continue to revise, and you're going to get some support from adults today. We're going to leave the peer review where you guys are going to help each other that on Tuesday for when we're back in person. So quickly, we noticed Miss Pollock and Miss Moore and I have noticed as we are reading your rough drafts, we are noticing that we are needing a little quick review on dialogue and how we use our quotations, quotation marks, and punctuation appropriately. So I thought I would do that quickly. So as you can tell, here is a really good example down here. And just as a reminder that quotation marks are only used to show someone's exact words. You will have them around the phrase that they are saying. So this right here, I am ready. And you can tell that the words are inside. I always think of the quotation marks like they're hugging whatever's inside. So they're keeping the words inside that the character is saying and the punctuation. And they've used a comma here. Now, the dialogue tag, which is referred to indicating what character and who is talking, that is when you would not use quotation marks and you would just have it after the character's phrase. So let's take a look at some examples. All right, so I would love some pizza, said Natalie. As you can tell, we have a character speaking on their love of pizza. I love pizza as well. And you need to make sure that whatever the character is saying, the first letter, treat it as a beginning sentence. The very first letter needs to be capitalized. Whatever they are saying, you will have the quotation marks around it. Make sure you have a comma inside the quotation marks. It will not be outside. It will be inside. Remember, the quotation marks are hugging the words that the characters are saying in the punctuation that belongs with that phrase. And then you will have your dialogue tag. Who said those words? So let's look at some examples down here. Here are some ones that are incorrect. I'm going to kind of circle those out, actually square those out. Let's go to the zoo, said Zane. So let's look at this and why it would be very confusing. First of all, there's only one set of quotation marks, and it's not around the entire phrase. Also, the dialogue tag, the name is not capitalized, and there's no punctuation at the end. So let's look at the correct version. Let's go to the zoo, said Zane. He capitalized the L because remember, we're treating their phrase that they're saying out loud as a new sentence. So you would capitalize it. You need a comma inside the quotation, and then you will have your dialogue tag. Don't forget, if it's a name, that is a proper noun and you need to capitalize it. And then don't forget punctuation at the end. Here's another example. So they did, "It is my favorite place," replied Percy. Think for a second on the mistakes they made. So hopefully you noticed that they did not capitalize the very first word. They only have one set of quotation and they don't have any ending quotation or a comma. And there's no punctuation after Percy, and Percy is a name and it's not capitalized. So if you look back at the correct one over here, "It is my favorite place," replied Percy. You kind of heard that natural pause. That's why we put this comma here. They capitalized the very first word. They had both sets of quotation marks only around the phrase that Percy said. And then you have your dialogue tag. Don't forget, Percy is a name, so it needs to be capitalized.